Hello, welcome back. This is going to be walls, I think part 4, I don't remember. But let's go ahead and look at some molding. Let's go ahead and finish off the molding and we're going to start the window. Okay, so here we are. This is right where we left off. Let me change my screen and let's go back into our top plan view, right? So we're in top plan view and we want to put a piece of molding across this opening. Now, if I remember right, our door opening is 2 feet 6 inches wide. It's 2 feet 6 inches wide across there, right? But our molding extends 3 inches to either side. Here, let's do our vertical molding first. Let's do our vertical molding first. So I'm just going to be in classes molding. I'm going to do this piece, and I know that it's 3 inches wide by looking at the drawing. Now when I look at this, I see that I did not draw it at 3 inches wide. I want to select that I have that pinned down, and I'm going to change that to make sure that it's 3 inches wide. Yes. And now our door is 7 feet high, but our molding sits on top of the baseboard, so we need to subtract 5 inches from that. And so I'm going to want to extrude this. I will extrude this by 6 feet 7 inches. All right, and now let's go over and draw our rectangle over here. And again, I have not drawn that accurately. I'm going to change this so that I pin down the correct side, and I'm going to make that exactly 3 inches. Remember, drafting is about precision. And I'm going to model this, and I will extrude it, and it will extrude at 6 feet 7 inches high, and I'll say okay. So now we do a little flyover and we should see what we get. Let's do a flyover here. Oh no, I see that my molding is short of the top of the door. Oh no. Well, it seems that I have not set a bottom Z coordinate for either one of these. If I lift this molding up to 5 inches so that it sits on top of the other one, I hope that everything lines up correctly, and it appears that it does. Let's change this and give it a bottom Z of 5 inches. And now I can see that my molding is sitting on top of my base molding and is flush with the top of the door, right? So the next thing that I want to do is go back to my top plan view, right? And in top plan view, what I'm going to do is go ahead and draw the top piece that goes across the doorway. And I'll draw a rectangle from that point to this point, right? And so that's exactly 3 feet wide by 1 inch. And I'm going to extrude it. Since it's only 3 inches tall, I'll make it 3 inches and say okay. And since I want it to be on the bottom of the door, I'm going to need to give it a bottom Z. Right now it's on the floor. Give it a bottom Z of 7 feet, and it pops right up into there, right? So that's the molding now around the door, around the doorway, and around the window and the baseboard. And you can see that our slab is now really starting to feel a little bit like a more like a wall. The next thing I want to do is put in a window, and you'll have to flip over to the last page of that PDF. I'll turn my phone off so it won't sonar. So let's go over and look at our window. The first thing that I want to do is I'm going to change around some classes, right? What I'm going to want to do is go in, open my classes dialog, and I want to make sure that molding is turned off. At this point, I'm also going to want to make sure that I turn on window. So I have a check mark next to window, and I have moldings turned off. And I'm going to say OK. Now, if I'm trying to draw this window, right, I can't draw this from the top. I'm going to have to draw this from the front. I'll have to draw this from the front view, right? And so here we go, and let's take a peek at our front view. And this is our windows, the window opening that we cut out. So what I'm going to start with is I'm just going to go ahead and draw a rectangle that fits inside of the window that I just drew. I just deleted it. So I'm going to go back on window. I'm going to select my rectangle tool, select that endpoint, pull that rectangle down till I get to that endpoint and select. Okay. Now we had just used the offset tool a moment ago. I'm going to go ahead and use the offset tool again to make the outer sill of this window. I see by looking at the drawing that it's 2 inches inside of the window in all dimensions. If I just select my offset tool, I change my distance up here to 2 inches and then select anywhere inside of this rectangle. Again, inside. I have duplicated that rectangle, right, 2 inches around all of the inside boundaries. I'm going to go over and select my pointer, hold my shift key down, select the outer rectangle, not the wall, the outer rectangle, go to modify, clip surface, and that now removes that surface. And I can just hit delete. I don't need that anymore. So now I have the outside edge of my window that's drawn. Again, this is all 2D that I've been drawing from this surface here. And I am going to go ahead and pause this video at this point.